Hello and welcome to this very magical Easter egg breakdown. Today we're going to discuss the topic of magical journey onwards. Now, Onward is a magical journey that starts Star-Lord and our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So, please remember to like, comment, subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated on everything and anything I do. Before we start, I'm going to tell you mild spoilers are ahead. So you're warned, spoilers. This Easter egg hunt with a typical Easter egg that's not even in this movie. As we know, Pixar likes to show their movies before they're even out. So we're gonna go back, rewind a bit to Toy Story 4, when we are at the State Fair, we can see a bouncy castle. Now this bouncy castle is not just any bouncy castle, just a bouncy castle, but it has the logo of a Pegasus. At that time, we didn't know what it was just a Pegasus to us. But it's not any regular Pegasus. It's that the guys use in Onward. Immediately, magic lived together. Now the magic was running out, but before we can even go further, we can see someone of familiar. Now this is none other. Now, this movie couldn't be a Pixar movie with the obvious reference towards Pizza Planet. Now, Pizza Planet didn't really fit in this world, so they called it Pizza Realm. We can see the whole logo is the same, even the small planet that they have in the left corner. And of course, before we get into our journey, we can see at the troll booth, we can see our favorite pizza truck. Now, that's a reference towards the Pixar and it's all. Speaking of the troll booth, this troll booth is not just any regular troll booth. Now what you might ask, what's so special about this troll booth? I will tell you. You can pay this troll booth in either cash or riddles. And since the troll booth is some sort of a bridge towards the outer state, it is typical that the trolls would work there, because in old beliefs, trolls were living under the bridge. While keeping up to date in the wizarding world, not Harry Potter, but in Onwards, we can see a famous sorceress hat. Now, we can see this one in the tavern scene where employees wear this hat. Now, of course, this hat seems familiar to all, and maybe even newer Disney fans alike. It is, of course, the wears in Fantasia, the movie. And it has become an iconic part of Disney history. Of course, another thing that's big in Disney's history is buying Marvel and creating the MCU. Is within Disney, and Disney is within Pixar, and Disney is within Marvel. So we got a whole slew of Marvel Easter eggs for you right now. Now with Star-Lord and Marvel's Spider-Man at the helm of this Pixar film, we couldn't miss out on these great Easter eggs. As we can see on Bartley's jacket, he has a patch that reminds us of the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Saga. Also on his jacket, a small pin that can remind it of a red skull. Now, what does that mean? It probably means the villain of the first Avenger, Captain America, Red Skull. He also played a part in the Infinity Saga, but he also had a part in being the leader of Hydra, and as we can look towards his left, his patch of Hydra. Now, this obviously can be a nod to the Hydra Corporation or just towards Hydra. Two quick Marvel Easter eggs are the stone that father back to life as orange, and you might think that sounds familiar because it resembles the Infinity Stone of the Soul Stone, which is also orange, which can also let you interact with someone you love and passed away. Now, the last Marvel is just as Ian in this movie is dressed in red and blue. Now, who else is also dressed in red and blue? Spider-Man. So, there you go. Going back towards other franchises, we can see that there's a couple of Lord of the Rings Easter eggs still left out there. As Ian arrives at the Burgershire, we can see a sign hanging underneath the logo that says "Now serving second breakfast." And of course, it's a reference towards the hobbits that loves to eat second breakfast. Now, another Lord of the Rings Easter egg can be found on a mixtape that Bartley puts in when they go on the adventure. In the cassette, it has LOR, which is also known as the acronym of Lord of the Rings. Besides Lord of the Rings having a huge influence on this movie, Dungeons and Dragons also has a huge influences on this movie. As we saw, Dungeons and Dragons is a huge influence because of even the Hydra being a part of the canon of Dungeons and Dragons, but also Bartley having a book called... This is a role-playing book, but once we get into it, and even later on, when they venture in towards the caves, we can see that there is gelatinous monster. Well, I'll put a picture up on the screen, but the gelatinous monster is a monster directly from the D&D games. This gelatinous cube can trap and absorb and even digest the victims he has caught. Now, on a brighter note, this is unfortunately the last Easter egg I found in this movie, but it's an Easter egg towards Back to the Future. Towards the end of the movie, the van flies off and doesn't drive off. Now, this obviously is a reference towards Back to the Future, where Marty, Doc, and Jennifer have to go back to the future. And where they're going, they don't need roads. So, unfortunately, that was the last Easter egg, as I said before. And we have gone to the end of the video. So, I would like to say thank you guys for watching. And please, remind me to subscribe, like, comment, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on everything I do. Thank you guys for watching.